Hello, Archie Dunlop here with Talking Astrology with Archie, and I'm bringing you my I Ching forecast for the week starting on Monday, October the 9th, 2023. So this is a week that starts on October the 9th and finishes on Sunday, October the 15th, 2023. So the way I structure this video is I tell you what the hexagram is, or the hexagrams, because very often hexagrams will move, one hexagram moving into another, and then I will look at it from 4 points of view, sort of a general interpretation, then money, then career, then relationships. So I threw 3 coins and I asked the question, what is this week, the week starting on Monday, October the 9th, 2023, going to be like for those watching this video? So, I must emphasize, if you don't want to hear, you don't have to hear. You can stop watching. You can watch something else. So it's only for people that are really watching this video, that are engaging in this video, who really want to know what's going to happen this week, or at least want to know what my interpretation of this week's events are from the perspective of I Ching, though I often throw in some astrology as well for sort of extra detail. So I threw the 3 coins in the air, and the first hexagram I got was arguably one of the best. I got this hexagram number 14, possession in great measure. Now, this hexagram is often associated, with money. I mean, makes sense, doesn't it? Possession, something you have a lot of. But it needn't just be about money. It might be experience. It might be knowledge. It might be respect. So we start the week with, in a way, a lot to be thankful for. We might think that things aren't going well, but look at what we've got. We've got many different things. We are fortunate in what we've got, and we should be in a position to actually make use of what we've got. Now, it is possible that possession in great measure is describing a future state. So it may be the case that at the beginning of next week, we can, increase what we have. That might mean finding a way of making more money. It might be a way of making new friends. I mean, friends in a way are a possession. Just increasing our general, increasing what we own. As I said, I don't mean that just in a material sense, and that's something that we can experience at the beginning of a week. Now, there is a moving line, and this fifth line, it moves, and this fifth line, in a way, is fortunate because it's suggesting that by being ourselves, by being absolutely sincere and honest, and by making it clear what we want, we can really get what we want, and people are going to trust us, and we're going to get the response we're looking for. But there is a kind of a warning here. It's not enough to be sincere. If we're completely sincere, that's great, but it's not quite enough. The Wilhelm translation of the I Ching also talks about dignity. We have to we have to be dignified, and we have to do things which demand respect. We have to be respected. It's not enough to be sincere. We have to be respected for what we are, and maybe it's kind of necessary that people have a certain fear of us. Now, I don't mean fear as in terror. I mean fear as in respect. A fear that they don't want to upset us, a fear that they don't want to lose our friendship. That fear kind of has to be there, I think. Through another translation of the I Ching by Greg Winchup talks about awe. There has to be awe there, A-W-E. People have to be in awe of us. And if people are in awe of us and we're very clear about what we want, then things are really going to work out well, and we will get what we want. We will get these possessions that we're looking for in great measure. So this hexagram, it does move. It changes to hexagram number 1. There's hexagram number 1, the creative. You can see that all of the lines are unbroken. So having gathered our resources in possession in great measure, and I must emphasize, I'm not necessarily talking about money. I'm talking about everything that we are. All our possessions make us the person we are. We can start initiating really something very powerful towards the end of the week. The creative. The creative is raw energy, and that raw energy is centered on us. So if we want things to happen, the sheer force of who we are can really make it happen. But we have to be aware that we might be dealing with dangerous energies. Pure creativity. It's pure creativity is it's hardly even defined. You can't say that this creativity is kind of moving in this particular area of the world or this particular desire. It's kind of more primal than that. So by the end of the week we have the power to make things happen, and so we have to then make the decision about how we're going to direct this power. I mean, indeed, is it possible to make this decision? Perhaps we are being propelled in a particular direction. So that's the general reading for this I Ching. What the week starting on Monday, October the 9th is going to be like. But then we can bring this down to various areas of life. So in terms of money, I think it can be an extremely good week. A hexagram number 14, let's go back to that. Hexagram number 14, it's often seen as the best hexagram in the book because it's about financial gain. And so if you've got a money issue, so if you're coming into this video, if you're coming into this reading and you've got concerns about money, then I think that things are looking good. I think that the money you're looking for is coming your way. If you're planning on making money in a particular way, then the tools you need to make that money are going to come together. Then, in terms of money, you may have to make a request. You may have to make an initiative to get that money, or to it may be, for example, that say you're looking for a pay rise, or you want to ask for money. That does happen. So that moving line, remember what I said, it's, it's certainly useful to be very open about what we want. Our sincerity is going to be very clear. It's not just about someone. You want money, you want more money. If you've got a reason to want more money, if you want a pay rise, you're saying, well, look, I'm good at the job. For example. So, if you're trying to get a piece of work, a contract or whatever, I've got these talents. I have a lot of possessions in terms of my experience and my knowledge. But again, it's so important to be respected, and you have to be, people have to be of the view that you are someone that needs to be given a positive response. Just because sincerity on its own is not going to get you the money you want. And this moves, as I've said in my general reading, this possession in great measure, you're in a position to get the money you want, or whatever it is, pay rise, a contract, whatever. You're in a position to get it, and then we move to the creative. This really primal hexagram that suggests that really you're attracting money. You're just creativity. That the creative in you is just there, and it may well be quite literal. You see. If you're trying to make money, creativity, let's just turn it from creative to creativity, then that creative impulse in you is going to be very useful to other people. And it may be because of that creative impulse that that the money comes your way. I think this would be particularly useful if you we're trying to make money out of art or writing, or I don't know, you're a sculptor or painter, whatever, because your creativity is going to be really, really clear, and people are going to want to pay you for it. So overall, I think that in terms of money, I think it's going to be a really good week, and you should not be afraid of taking the initiative. Now, as far as career is concerned, if you've got a career question, now that possession in great measure, I do think really does apply to your talents and your abilities and your skills. Everyone if you're into sort of networking, all that kind of stuff, it really does emphasize this. You've got everything. You've got everything you need to get where you want to go in terms of your career. It's kind of as simple as that. And with this moving line, remember the fifth line moves. Yeah, you have to ask for it. It will be clear when you explain what you can do. If you're in a job interview or you're making an application for a job, or for example, you run your own business and you're trying to get a contract, just quite simply explaining what you do with total sincerity. You don't even have to make stuff up. I know in this world people make stuff up left, right, and centre. They claim to be able to do things they can't do. They sell things that aren't are sort of inferior, whatever. No need to do that. In fact, don't do that. You mustn't do that. You just can be completely sincere, but you also need to remember your dignity. Dignity means, I suppose, asking for something, but going into a negotiation, for example, with the idea that you're not actually going to lower yourself. You need that dignity. You're the one who should be in control. It's not for you to make compromises. It's the other side to make compromises. So going in a strong position, in a position where you are respected, is a way to make progress in your career. It's a way to get new business. It's a way to get a new job. Whatever you need to do in your career, whatever you want to do in your career. So you have to take yourself really seriously. And then this possession in great measure, it moves to number one, the creative, the first hexagram, and this puts you in a really powerful position. It's almost as if if you imagine it, if you really want something to happen at work, your sheer creative, positive energy is actually able to make it happen. Although if we try to play with the word creative and link it maybe with creativity, so at work, particularly during the last half of a week, maybe Thursday, Friday, don't be afraid of being creative. Don't be afraid of doing something a bit different. It's not just about a plodding job where you do what's expected of you and you clock off at 5 o'clock. You have to show that you have got something special, that creative ability. It will be much appreciated, and you will be respected if you can demonstrate this creativity. Now, finally, let's consider this I Ching reading in terms of relationships. So I suppose if you're watching this video and you're concerned about relationships, you could be coming in from different angles. You could be in a relationship. I'm not just talking about romantic relationships. There are all sorts of relationships. There are professional relationships. There are social relationships. But whatever relationship you're in, if you're in a relationship, then self-respect is going to be very important. You have to you have to regard yourself kind of as the best person in the world, and that the person you're in a relationship with is extremely fortunate to be in a relationship with you, and that I think should be the starting point. Because dignity is really important. Whatever that relationship is, your own dignity really matters. You don't have to compromise for anyone. But I don't think we're dealing with a sort of a conflict situation. And you also have to be very clear about what you want. And again, it's showing that dignity, and that moves to the creative. So towards the end of a week, I think that relationships can. The relationships you're in can certainly give you pretty much everything you want, and can be the basis for creative pursuits. So I suppose that depends on the context of the relationship, but creativity in a partnership, should be something that can really happen by the end of a week. Now, what if you're not in a relationship, and particularly from a romantic point of view, and you want to be in a relationship? Well, I think the situation looks good. This hexagram, possession in great measure, not normally associated with romance, normally connected with, immediately one thinks of money, but possession in great measure is is basically who you are, what you've got, and it says, it's saying basically you have everything you need to find the right relationship. You've got it all. You may not think you've got it all, but you have got it all, because it's saying possession in great measure. And just, you can, and it's important to be honest and upfront without losing your dignity. Because, if one person doesn't understand or appreciate your many possessions, well, you can just find someone else. But just maintaining that dignity, and then this hexagram 14, possession in great measure, it moves to the creative, and so you are a creative force, and because of that creativity, that positive creative energy, you are going to be attracting people. So if you're looking for a relationship, then overall, I think that this week looks really good. So that's my I Ching reading for this week, and I will be doing another I Ching reading in a week's time for the week starting on Monday, October the 16th, 2023. But thank you for listening, and have a good week.